another video. Today's video is going to be a review, and it's going to be a review of Empire Season 4, Episode 14. So, this episode is very intense. It's, as you can see throughout the many episodes of Empire, Cookie and Lucius will do whatever it takes to make sure Empire stays within the family and nobody tries to take over it. So, the first point I wanted to get into was that Thirsty and Lucius try to get rid of Eddie, and they try to do many attempts, which they both fail. And so they try to first get him to sign off on some paperwork that says, I rescind my, employment. I take away my employment with Empire Enterprises. And so, that doesn't work because, Thirsty isn't as good as, Cookie and Lucius are with, the bribing and things of that sort, with getting people to sign off on papers. That's not really his thing. So they try to get Eddie to sign off on the papers, and he's like, no, I'm not really going to do this. I'm just going to keep, going with whatever this war is. And so that causes Thirsty and Lucius to then go get Hakeem and Jamal and meet up at Leviticus to see, because Eddie said he had to go to dinner with Edna, which is one of the board members. And so they all go to this meeting. Little do they know it's actually a party to try and get Eddie to stay there and say, thank you for all the work you've done, and thank you for helping out Tori Ash and helping out Tiana. And so they go there, and Eddie tries to say, two can play this game. So then what Lucius decides to get back at him is to invite all his ex-wives, Eddie's ex-wives, back to down to Leviticus while he's having this private meeting with Edna. And so what he does is just pretty much tells them, meet him here, and catch him in the middle of whatever it is he's trying to do. And so Eddie doesn't really like that too much, and so Edna decides to leave because she doesn't want to deal with the ex-wives. And another part that I wanted to talk about is how Cookie's in this episode, she seems to have a lot of flashbacks of when her mom came to visit her in jail. And so one of them happened especially when she went to go visit Pound Cake, and she promised Pound Cake that she would find her daughter, and she writes a letter for Pound Cake, and she says that she's going to keep trying because she said that she hadn't found her, when really she found Maya. It's just that she didn't really know how to explain to Maya to get her to go and see Pound Cake. And she has these visions of her mom, and when Cookie's mom comes to visit her in jail, she doesn't like the way that her mom's judging her, and she's telling her mom that, I don't really like how you left me and my sisters to fend for ourselves with our dad, and she's pretty much not really liking her mom right now. This is pretty much flashing back to Cookie, just not really wanting to talk to her mom. And so another part of the episode that I want to hint on is how Cookie talks about how Tiana's been treating everybody, because Tiana's been such a since Eddie's been helping her out. So she's been treating people meanly, she's been firing people, she's been telling people, you're going too slow, you need to do this, you're messing up the dances, you're messing up this. And so Tiana's being a real jerk. And so Cookie just calls her out. Excuse me. Cookie just calls her out on what she's saying and just says, you're being a real jerk to everybody, and there's only one person that can be a real jerk to anybody, and that's me. So don't do that. And so that really gets Tiana into thinking, why would Cookie say that? And I really need Eddie back, but you know, everybody else knows that Eddie's not going to be coming back. And so Blake and Hakeem are helping each other out. Sorry, I dropped something. Blake and Hakeem are helping each other out, and so Blake and Hakeem end up having this underground party, and they have this underground party where Hakeem debuts his new song, and he streams it on Empire Extreme, and he tries to become the #1 artist at Empire, and tries to pretty much beat out Tiana in the #1 spot. And so he premieres his new song, and then Tiana ends up showing up. He brings her up on stage because he wants to dance with her, and I guess Tiana's in her feelings, so Tiana goes to the party she claims that it's not about Hakeem, why she's going to the party, but she ends up going to the party, and they end up dancing with each other while they premiere the new song, because, you know, Hakeem's trying to get one up, you know, Blake, and doesn't want anybody taking the #1 spot except for him. And then the last part I wanted to talk about is, you know, Thirsty discloses that, you know, they're trying to find a way to get Eddie to leave, and that, you know, Lucius is planning to kill Eddie. So then Lucius is convinced by Cookie not to kill Eddie, instead to get him to sign try and get him to sign the papers again. And so they pretty much bring up all the dirty work Eddie's been doing. So, you know, forcing Tiana, and, you know, to be this person she's doesn't want to be, and giving Tori bad advice by, you know, giving her drugs, and having this other artist that he worked with in the past, you know, commit suicide. He's like, yeah, we're going to bring all that stuff out into the light if you don't sign these papers. And so that gets him to sign the papers, and he says he can't say no to Cookie, and he pretty much signs the papers, and he's like, Cookie is the main reason why Eddie decides to sign off on these papers. So that's pretty much what I wanted to hint upon in this episode. I didn't want to go too much into the episode, as I try to do with all my reviews, not to go too much into the episodes, because then that wouldn't give you guys time to, you know, go watch the episodes if you haven't watched them yet. And comment down below if there's anything that you want to hint upon that was also another, you know, really aha moment in the episode. And we'll be back with the next video.